Life was beautiful for us. We had very wonderful families. My papa's father was a veterinarian, and he had a smith shop. He took care of horses. My mama's father was a very famous rabbi who actually spoke 11 languages and led a group in Esperanto. And I lived in a courtyard with 3 houses on one side and 3 houses on the other side. We had the greatest scholars. When Napoleon came through the city and he saw the institutions that existed, he was in awe, and he named our city the Jerusalem of Lithuania. So we had many newspapers. We had probably 150 synagogues, and there was always studying in the synagogue. The seats were gorgeous. I think they were velvet. And when you walked in, the doors were, that I remember, the doors were so heavy, so magnificent, and the carving was beyond anything. But I was a little kid and always would go and just look at it. And there was the ritual bath. That was beautiful. I remember being there. My mama would take me. You had to go. It was so hot when you walked in, that I remember. And there were actually women who would help you with get all this stuff together, the soap and the towels. And it just, especially in the wintertime, it was so nice and warm. It was very hot. It's almost like a meeting place. Everybody was going. In 1939, in June, the Germans attacked us. And I remember my aunt putting up strips of tape so when they were bombing, the windows would not collapse. On June 22 and 23, they bombed us. And they walked into the city on the 23rd. My father came with a truck because he was an official in the military hospital. And he said to my mother, Adel, take the children, we're being evacuated. And my mother said, can my sister go? My brother? And my papa said, no, I can only take you. So my mother said, then we died together. My papa went away with the truck, and the Russians took him away. I had at that time, a 16-year-old brother who had already finished not only the gymnasium, but the lyceum, and he disappeared. And so therefore, there was Mama and I. They bombed us, and on the 24th, they walked into our city. Within minutes, and I mean within minutes, the Poles attacked us with vengeance. And the Poles began to come into our houses and take whatever they want. We couldn't go on the sidewalk immediately. School was out of the question. No doctors, no going to school, no walking on the sidewalks, no food. But because my grandmother had a grocery store, we still had some food. So then they took Mama and me to the ghetto number 1. My mother was brave. I don't understand it. She went to work, but she would hide me in an attic. And this is something that I am learning to recall, which is horrible. So we stayed there, and she would go to work. I was hungry, and she would always tell me, not a word, you have to stay quietly. And she was hiding me out. And this is how I lived for what I thought was a long, long time. So then one day, the ghetto was going to be liquidated. So my mother threw me out from some area. She always had another plan of what would happen. And she pushed me over like a wall or a hall or whatever, and it was probably on the Jewish street. They called it, the Yiddish Żydowska ulica. I can't remember because I'm trying to recall. Everybody tells me, go see a psychiatrist, try to recall. And she told me to run to the people that my father has helped. But you know what she said to me before in Yiddish? Mein Kind soll's keinmal nicht vergessen, a bist a Yiddische. All she cared about, which means, my child, never forget that you're Jewish. And she pushed me out. I went to I apologize, go ahead. It's very difficult. I didn't think it's so bad. I went to the people. I had been once with my father. And I came, and I think God just wanted me to live. I'm not sure for any other reason. And I came to this gorgeous home where only the Polish nobility lived. And the door was open, so I went in, and to the left was their apartment. I knocked on the door, and I said, Mama said, they're gonna kill me. Maybe you'd take me in. So, and, you know, I don't blame him for being scared. So she said, shh. I don't know why the door was open to get into the building. I have no idea. Her name was Anna, and she went in to talk to her husband. His name was Leon, and their name was Lisak, right. And she said, okay, we will hide you. So why am I alive today? Because the Germans and their collaborators did not find to kill me, and these two righteous people risked their lives to save me. To them, it is my gratitude.